Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Dr. Donna. Welcome to Turnaround Tactics. Today I'm talking about my first suit. Now, hey there, Freddie, how are you today? Welcome to the live. Today we're talking about my first suit. Now, Pimpin' 559, welcome. And user with a bunch of numbers behind you, welcome. This is a photo of me when I was in the 5th grade, and this is my first suit. Some of you who've been on the lives before know I grew up in Detroit. I'm from the hood. I'm from Glendale between 12th and 14th. Major cross streets is Linwood and Woodrow Wilson. So that was the hood on the west side of Detroit. And this is my 5th grade photo. I was 11 years old when I took this photo. And how I got the suit was for Christmas of 1983. I asked my uncle, who was a lawyer, I could have gotten anything that I wanted for Christmas. I could have got some Gloria Vanderbilt jeans, some Calvin Klein jeans, Jordache, EBS sneakers, or any of that. And I said, no. I want a suit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have to remember, I live in the hood. So I live in the hood. Our house was a 2-family flat. We had alleys. We had rats in the backyard. And we had mice. We had one of those claw bathtubs with a mouse trap and a rat trap underneath because mice and rats used to come into the house. And it was the cut. So when I showed up in 5th grade on picture day with this suit on, people were laughing at me. People were like, oh my God, look at that suit. And it had a pleated skirt, and I had on white tights and ballerina flats with this suit. And you see I got my little tootie mushroom with my side ponytail. This was not something that you did in 1984 if you lived in the hood. You're supposed to have on some cute little jeans, nice little shirt, some sneakers, or a cute little dress. But at no point was I supposed to show up in that suit. But I call this Dr. Donna in the making because it took a lot of guts. It took a lot of guts to put that suit on and walk into that school knowing that people were going to laugh at me. So why am I showing you this photo today, ladies and gentlemen? Because when you're in elementary school, everybody says, oh, you can be whatever you want. You can be whatever you want. You can be president. You can be whatever. You can just, anything's possible. And you do all this drawing and all this imagination. And then by the 7th grade, everybody starts stomping on your dreams. Everybody starts saying, well, you need to be realistic. You know, your test scores say, well, your Lexile, well, based upon how your grades are right now, you need to go get a trade. Well, you'll be great in college by the time you're 13. So 2 years later, after this photo, everybody started trying to have those conversations with me and tell me what I could and couldn't do. But I knew who I was when I put that suit on walking through the hood. And that's what I'm here to tell you. Don't let nobody steal who you were in elementary school. It took courage and it took guts. And I've been a gutsy little girl ever since then, taking risks and doing things that are uncommon, that are unconventional. And I'm telling you that you got to do the same thing because you can't be in the hood and show up on picture day. Now you can because we can see each other on the internet. But this was 1984. This is when television still went off. Everybody didn't have a microwave. We still had rotary phones. We had one way and two ways. We used to still have to call to get the time and the weather. And even when television came back on, it started with the Star Spangled Banner. We had 5 or 7 channels, no cable or any of that. Still using payphones. Nobody had a cell phone. Our car didn't have air conditioner in it. It had manual windows. So this was a different time. So for me to be 11 years old in a situation that wasn't the best, my mother and father both were alcoholics. My sister was a terrible older sister. And for me to say, I'm about to put this suit on. I'm putting this suit on because I am somebody. Didn't nobody tell me to put that suit on. I didn't have a bunch of fans saying, hey, Dee, go do it. You can do it. We see greatness in you. I had to see that greatness in myself. God gave it to me and I saw it and I put that suit on. And so I'm telling you this to say, go back to 7th grade and think about that. Think about suit kind of hard. Thank you very much, Cole. That was a tweed suit. I had a pleated skirt and some white tights and black ballerina flats on there. So for a little girl in 1984 to put a whole suit on, we didn't have a lot of women on television wearing suits. That wasn't something that you saw. You definitely didn't have a tie on top of that. That's not something that was taking place, but that's what was on the inside of me. So what I'm telling you is I'm saying, go back to elementary school when you put something on or you got a toy, because not only did I do that, but for Christmas one year, I got a Mr. T doll. Mr. T and Superman were my favorite people that I watched on television. The A-Team was my show. I saw every Superman movie. And on one Christmas, I received a Mr. T doll, a Jordache doll, and a MASH set. So remember that show, MASH? They should have known I was going to be a leader and be in the army. If that was any indicator, I was going to be hard and in charge and I was going to be rebellious as all get out. This was the beginning of that. So go back to your elementary school years when you were doing things and it wasn't, people were either laughing at you or saying it wasn't possible and you did it anyway. And then by 7th grade, they started talking you into nonsense. And that's how I ended up in corporate America and doing some things that took me away from who this person was. And the older you get and the more you go away from who you are, the further people try to talk you out of being you. But I was always a rebel. So I kind of never really conformed to it. Even when I was in corporate America, I was doing all kind of things that were just not the things that women should do. I've always been in male-dominated industries because that's what I was attracted to. And people just kept trying to get me to go in the other direction. I showed my daughter my high school yearbook about 6 months ago. You know, people, when you're in high school, they write, oh, da, 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 da. So we're 31, 32 years outside of that. And it was always the people that wrote stuff in there. Oh, Donna, don't go to the military. You need a man. Just get married. Settle down. Stay away from the army. Stop being so loud. It was all of these things. And then a couple people were just like, you know what, you were cool. Thank you. And I didn't have a lot of people signing in my yearbook because I quite honestly didn't like a lot of those people. But anyway, the point that I'm making is this. That little 11-year-old girl said, listen, I don't really care what the rest of the school has to say, and I don't care what the people in the hood have to say. So walking home from school, only got 4 houses to get home, but nobody was like, oh, I see you in that suit. Go ahead, Dee girl, look at you looking good in your suit. Absolutely not. Nobody thought that this was a great idea for this little 11-year-old little black girl from the hood to put a suit on. But I was telling people who I was way back then. I was telling people, I'm going to be Dr. Donna. I don't care that I'm reading at a 3rd grade reading level right now and doing math at an 8th grade level. I'm going to be the person. This person that you see right here is going to be somebody great in the future. And that's what I'm telling you. Go back to elementary school, and when you did that thing and your parents or siblings or somebody pushed it out the way and said, that's stupid, that's dumb, you ain't gonna make no money doing that, or whatever the heck they said to deflate you. So by the time you got into the 7th grade, they really just start pushing you down this path that you don't want to go down. And I'm telling you, you have the right to say, y'all can kick rocks, get the hell on with that nonsense. I'm gonna go be me. Because I'm a cute little girl and I was supposed to go do cute little girl stuff. But that's not who I am. I didn't want to go do cute little girl stuff. I mean, my primary weapon when I was in the military was the weapon that Scarface had when he said, say hello to my little friend. That was the weapon that I had as a lieutenant in the military police corps. So I wasn't trying to, I'm just go in the army and do my little thing. No, I wanted to get dirty. I wanted to be in the foxhole, ready to go make some stuff happen because I was a true soldier. So I'm telling you this to say, stop letting people talk you out of something. Stop letting people talk you out of something. Stop letting people talk you out of the real you. That was the real me. I tell people all the time, I'm a cool nerd. You got to be a cool nerd to be wearing that suit in the hood for your 5th grade photo. You can't, there's no way around it. Don't let people talk you out of who you actually are. And there have been just a few times in my life when I slipped up. When I was married and when I was working with my sister, I let them talk me into me not being me. And it was 2.5 years in the marriage and 3 years of working with my sister, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't stop being me. And that's what I'm telling you. You got to be you. You got to be who you are all the doggone time. At no point do you let anybody talk you out of anything. If this little girl at 11 years old had the guts to wear that suit to a school that was located in the hood, knowing people were going to laugh at me and make fun of me, that's inside of you. That is inside of you, and don't ever let somebody take that away from you. They will try to do it because greatness is inside of all of us. And when losers see something inside of you, they see a little light, they see a little trickle of happiness or joy, they will try to come and steal it from you, but you don't have to do that. So I'm saying this to say, so what does this have to do with personal accountability? I knew that was inside of me. I knew that people were going to laugh at me. I knew that people were going to talk stuff, and I didn't care because personal accountability says I'm going to be me. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be authentic. And then I ain't trying to harm you or hurt you, but I got to do me. And if I got to choose between being a fake person so you can feel good about you or being me, I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose me every single time. And that's what I'm telling you. You got to choose you every single time. You got to choose you. So if you are still in school, it's not too late. If you are still in school, it's not too late. Go back to your elementary school. I'm sure y'all got photos. People got it in the phone by now. And go look. There are pictures of my daughter. She is in the cabinet. She is in drawers. And it all makes sense now because she does furniture assembly. Look at those photos of you when you were younger and pay attention to what you were doing, because that's what you came here to do. Pay attention. Like I said, I had a Jordache doll, which means I like to dress, a Mr. T doll, which means a doll, and a mask set. So we knew I was going to be in some type of leadership position. I was going to be doing some, putting on some battle rattle and going to make some stuff happen. And I was going to look good while I was doing it. So that's what I'm telling you, is go back and look at those childhood photos. And I don't care if you're 80. I don't care if you're 75. I don't care if you're 50 like me. Go back and look at those photos, because that's when it was pure. That's when you were who you were. Even me with my drunk family, even when my mother was smoking crack and my sister was out there in the streets doing Lord knows what, I was in class. I was nerding it out in class because I'm a cool nerd and I like learning. And that's what I'm telling you. Be who you are. Go look at those photos today. Yes, my mama was smoking crack. That's what I said. You must be new to the lies. 18 months. She was smoking crack and I still had to go to school and perform. Got some drug treatment. Yes, she got some drug treatment and then went on to do some other terrible things. But yeah, from 7th grade into 8th grade, she was out there in them streets. So that's what was happening with her. But what was happening with me was I was still in school, because that's who I am in that photo. That's Dr. Donna in the making. So go back and look at your childhood photos. And I don't care if you're 15. Go back and look at your childhood photos. Go look at those childhood photos and see what's actually taking place in your life, because that's who you were. That's who you came here to be. That was you at your purest form before you got in 7th grade and they start telling you, here's the line. You got to go over here. Well, you did this on this test. Well, you got a C. You're a C student. On my lives, I said, I went to a CTA school. It was 1,400 freshmen, 602 of us graduated, and I graduated number 345. So that means I was less than 50%, and they used GPAs and everything else to rank us. So number 345, but I knew I was Dr. Donna inside of there. I knew I was this person right here with the suit on. Me at 5th grade said, you're not stopping me. You're not stopping me. When I was in elementary school, I played academic games. I was the only girl on the team who made it to states 3 years in a row. Didn't win, but that's not the point. I lost by 3 points the first year, 2 points the second year, and 1 point the third year. And if we hadn't moved, I know when I got to the 6th grade, I would have been able to keep it up. But my middle school didn't have equations. It didn't have academic games. So then I just started winning in other areas. I'm telling you, pick up any childhood photo, basically round about 3rd to 5th grade, and look at you and really see what you were doing. Look at what you were doing. Don't pay attention to no other person in the photo. Look at you. What were you doing? Because that's what you came here to do. My daughter is 1 year old, is sitting in the drawer of her desk. The chair is right next to her, and she took her little 1 year old self and sat in the doggone drawer, pulled it out, and sat in the drawer. And I was like, why do you keep sitting in this drawer? It's a chair right here. And then she laughs and says, well, that was my first desk disassembly. So she was taking the desk apart. I would put Tupperware in the kitchen cabinet. She would take the Tupperware out and sit in the cabinet and look at the hinges. Makes perfect sense now, but it didn't make sense back then. I was like, no, play with the Tupperware, play with the Tupperware. And so I'm telling you, go back and look at those photos. Look at what you were doing, because that's what's inside of you. And if you didn't do it, I'm telling you, you sitting at a job and you know you're supposed to be inside of a cabinet doing something. You're sitting at a job and you're doing a presentation and you're supposed to be outside in nature with the animals. But you in some stuffy ass cubicle typing on the computer, looking at some Excel spreadsheets. I was listening to a CD player playing with Barbie dolls. And what are you doing now? Because it sounds like music and fashion to me. If I was looking at that photo, that's what it sounds like. Working the field. Okay, well, cool. You where you need to be then. That's good. I think that said Trey Hollywood. I don't have my glasses on in this glare. So that's awesome. But for the rest of us who didn't get to go straight into the thing, and I won't say I didn't get to go because I was still rebellious. And my daughter says all the time, I tell her, I follow the rules at least once a week. And she's laughing at me like, nah, I ain't never seen you. I don't break no laws, but I definitely will break a whole bunch of rules. I wake up trying to figure out how I can disrupt and dent make and risk take. So I'm telling you, go look at those photos when you were in elementary school and a toddler, because that's what you came here to do. That's what you came here to do. And people took that away from you. And they took it away from you under the guise that they were trying to help you. And they wanted what's best for you. You can't make no money doing that. You needed, my mother used to tell me, you need a career, not a job. I was at Frito-Lay like, you know what? This is just chips on the trucks, ladies and gentlemen. This snack food. This ain't even a real freaking food group. I'm not staying here. I can't keep making sure. And it was the same. Every year, it's just chips on the truck, chips on the truck, chips on the truck, chips on the truck. After I quit, it took me like 5 years before I ate the products again. All I wanted to do was make art when I was a kid, and I'm trying so hard to find the joy for creation. You can find the joy for creation again. Go to the Dollar Tree today if you live in America, or go to a craft store, and you ain't got to spend a lot of money, but you go get you some art stuff and you go make something today before you put your head on the pillow. And go to a 24-hour store. If you got to go to doggone 7-Eleven, go get you some art supplies. It might cost a lot at 7-Eleven. Try to find a cheaper option, Five Below or something, but you definitely go do that. Don't let the people take the joy from inside of you out of your heart. Absolutely not. I was in the hood. For you, those of you who just joined, that's my 5th grade photo. I lived on Glendale between 12th and 14th, cross streets Linwood and Woodrow Wilson. It was the cut on the west side. And I wore this suit in 1984 on picture day, and I got laughed at. I didn't care. Because that was Dr. Donna in the making. I knew I was going to be on my way to doing something great. Both parents alcoholic, toxic older sister, and I still asked my uncle for a suit for Christmas. I didn't have a lot of clothes. I was that kid that got 5 outfits, something for Christmas and something for my birthday. And I sacrificed getting regular school clothes to get a suit to let them know I'm coming. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm coming. That's Dr. Donna in the making, and they couldn't talk me out of that, and they still can't talk me out of it. People been trying to tell me what I need. Oh, but you should do this. Oh, and with your doctorate, you should do that. Did you ever think about this? You're absolutely freaking not. I'm doing exactly what I came here to do. I'm doing exactly what I came here to do, and I'm not letting people talk me out of it, and y'all better not let nobody talk y'all out. If they did talk you out of it, get out of it. Get out of it. Because part of your soul is dying every day when you don't let that 11-year-old who put that suit on come out and say, I'm here. I heard y'all was looking for me. Here I go. That's what you need to be doing. That's what you need to be doing. So you look back at those childhood photos and you go back and get that baby. And you say, come on, you coming into 2024 with me. Let's go. We taking no prisoners. Absolutely nobody. That's what you have to do going forward. Go get those pictures. If they're physical pictures, if you old like me, you're going to have to pull out some old photo albums. They might even be Polaroids. But you go get those photos and you go look at who you came here to be, and you tap back into that and you go become that. Because that's why you were born. That's what you came here to do. You destined for greatness, and that ain't no lie. You got to do it for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. You got to do it for you. Don't let nobody talk you out of it, because you're going to be sitting somewhere miserable, and they're going to be done forgot that they even told you that. They're going to be done forgot that they told you that. So I got to go on an appointment with my daughter. But for those of you who just joined, this is my 5th grade photo. I took a picture in this suit. My uncle bought me the suit for Christmas. I lived in the hood. I got laughed at when I took all day long because I had a suit on. Everybody else had on cool 1984 hood clothes. And I'm walking around with a tweed suit on and a pleated skirt with white tights and black ballerina flats. But that's Dr. Donna in the making. And I'm telling you, when you hold yourself personally accountable, can't nobody talk you out of who you are. They can't talk you out of who you are. They can't talk you. Can't nobody talk me out of me being me. I'm me. You ain't talking me into being some fake person, somebody else, for who? So they can feel comfortable? Absolutely not. If you're uncomfortable around me, that's on you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. But if you was real, everything I do, none of it will bother you. It's only fake people that have a problem with me. It's only fake people. Real people are like, hey, she keep it a buck, man. I'm down with her. But it's these fake people. Oh, no, and you gotta, when you sit on your live, absolutely not. That's what you gotta do. I can do this. I can wear the same 5 shirts on my lives. It don't matter. Same hair, same everything. I'm not putting on no frontals. That's not me. And no disrespect to people doing it, but that's just not what this is me. I got to wear wigs because I got alopecia. I ain't trying to be cute. I'm doing this because I don't have no hair under here. That's why, like, I put on a t-shirt. I put on some hair and I do what I got to do. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, go back. Your turnaround tactic today. Go find your photos from when you were a child. And if you were born in the 2000s or later, you probably just look it up on somebody's digital device. For us old folks, we're going to have to dig out some photo albums and look at you when you were a child. Look at what you were playing with. Look at what you had on. Look what you were doing, not around everybody else. What is it that you were doing? That's what you came here to do. That's what you came here to do. And your mission in 2024, starting now, because you got to undo some stuff if you're not on that mission, go and say, I'm getting ready to go back to this, and start working on a strategy to get you back to this as soon as possible. You have to be you. You got to do what you came here to do, because it's your life and you have to live it to the best of your ability. And it doesn't matter if people get mad and they say, oh, I don't like you anymore. I like you where you were. I like you where you were. Okay, well, go back in the past then, because that person ain't here. That person don't exist. You exist for you. You came here with a mission to do something grand and wonderful, and you don't have to be sitting in a situation that don't match you. That's what I'm telling you. The little girl in the hood, the little girl in the hood, the little girl in the hood. That's Dee Dee from the D. Dee Dee from the D right there. That is Dee Dee from the D that said, I'm in the hood, but I'm a nerd, baby. I'm a nerd. I'm about to be out here leading and calling shots and doing all of that. That's what that person was telling everybody. I'm a thermostat. I ain't no thermometer. I set the temperature. I don't take it. That's who that little girl was way back then. And people say, well, when'd you get like this? Someone asked me that on the live when I first started. I'm like, man, I've been this way. I came here like this, honestly and truly. It's in my DNA. When you cut me right now, I'm going to bleed real leadership. That's just how it is. So I'm telling you right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, go get that photo of you as a toddler, and then you between fifth grade, kindergarten and fifth grade, and look at that person, and look at that person. And then think about, am I still this person, or did I turn into something else? And how do I get back to my core? When you're in yoga, they talk about your core when you're exercising, because that's where your strength is at. So your strength is in this photo, in this elementary state where everything was still pure. People were telling you could be whatever you wanted to be before they start using test scores and other dumb shit to say, oh no, we changed our mind. You can't be president no more. You don't know how to read. You can't be president no more. You too short. Whatever it is. They used to tell me that. Well, you could be the president. I didn't want to be the president. If I wanted to be the president, I would have been the president. It's not something I want to do. The point that I'm making to you is that go back to those photos. Go back to those photos. Go back to those photos and become that person. Become. That's Dr. Donna. Y'all can't look at that photo and tell me that wasn't Dr. Donna in the making. Now, if I had that photo on and I'm doing something else, you can be like, but why wouldn't you doing that? If you had the guts to put a suit on in 1984 when nobody was wearing suits, especially not in elementary, the teachers wasn't even wearing suits, and you did that, why did you stop doing that? Who did you let talk you out of doing that? And that's my question to you. After you look at that photo, if you got talked out of it and the person that talked you out of it is still in your life, they got to kick rocks. They got to go. Everybody deserves to be who they came here to be. And that's all I want for you today. I want you to look at those photos, and I want you to go back to that person and say, come on, little Dee Dee, come on with me. If you left that person behind, pick them up and bring them into 2023 and 2024 with you. Pick them up and keep them with you. If you got to print the photo out, if you got to make that your desktop on your phone, whatever you got to do to make sure that you stay true to that person, you got to honor them. You got to honor them. With that being said, I do thank all of you for being on this live. I do have to get to an appointment with my daughter, but I had to get this done. I do one live today. It looks like they've been between 9 and 10, so if you're available tomorrow or any other day, this is, in theory, the time that I will be doing it. Thank you so very much for joining the live. I appreciate it, and your task. And I want to hear back from you. So people have gotten information. You are so welcome. People have gotten information and come back and followed up with me. That's what turnaround tactics is all about. It's about you accessing the right tactics so you can have the best outcome. That's what real leadership is. So after you do this, jump back on another live and tell me what happened. I will be grateful to hear it, because the little person inside of you deserves the best you that you can actually be. That's who deserves it more than anybody else. So you all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you are. I appreciate you taking your time out to hear what I had to say today. Thank you so much. And just grow forward with the little person inside of you. Adios.